Hello, welcome to Pete's Garden episode 8. I've not been doing too much in the garden recently, or the allotment, because I've been taking part in a marathon and then recovering from the marathon. But I have been doing some things, so this episode is a tour of the garden and roll titles. I'm going to start in the herb garden, and there's the lavender, thyme, rosemary, which we've hacked away at quite a lot and eaten, but we need to leave it for a bit to grow back more. Welsh onions. Now, I don't know anybody that grows these, but they're lovely. You just pull a bulb away or something, or not even the bulb, as you can see there. I've just cut the top away, and just more grows back. It's really nice. More rosemary, which I think you saw me potting up in a previous episode of Pete's Garden. Borage, which looks a bit sorry for itself, but it's just needs to sort of right itself really. And thyme, which is dead, but I got it for very little. It was a bargain in a garden central shop, and what I'm going to do is eat the bits that you see there, and if something grows back then lovely. If it doesn't, at least I've got that. Chives, which I'm going to put more in that pot fairly soon, because I've got some chives that I sowed in the greenhouse. Thyme, more thyme there. Rosemary, again I'm letting that grow back, and it needs to be topped up with more soil as well. And parsley, which has overwintered itself from last year. So that's the herb garden. In this bit of the garden we're trying to grow some grass, and that's to match that side up there, and so that it's a bit safer to walk around this wall here. We've also got the diacia up there, which I sort of cut the dead bits off of in a previous episode of Pete's Garden. And down here we have a couple of rows of the peas, which I sowed in the greenhouse in January. There are some gaps in the rows, as you can see, but yeah, some of them didn't survive, but I'm quite happy with the ones that did, and they're not my main crop of peas at all. Just to be nice to have a nice handful or two, or perhaps a bit more, towards the end of next month or early June. And in these are the broad beans. The first two rows I sowed, I think it was 2 or 3 months ago in the greenhouse. Came to plant them out and realised I wanted some more, so I didn't sow anymore, but I went and bought some from the garden centre because I didn't want to sow any. These I did sow in the greenhouse, a row of mixed salad leaves, and then the next row is of, I don't know if you can see it there, very small at the moment, black-seeded Simpson lettuces, and further up you can see half a row of mustard leaves. And then we've got some cabbage seedlings. They are seedlings really, you can't call them plants yet. They're greyhound cabbages though, so they will grow pretty quickly. Again, end of May, beginning of June. All of that stuff really is sort of into June. will be the harvest period. These are the leeks which I sowed last year. This is where the broad beans were, not the broad beans, the Brussels sprouts rather, over winter. And the broccoli, you can see that I let it flower because the bees absolutely love it, and I would definitely recommend that as a way of getting bees into your garden fairly early in the year. But we've had plenty of broccoli off it for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and we're still getting the odd bit here and there. But this plant here has a disease on it, a pest which I've never had before, so perhaps in the comments box below you'll tell me what you think this particular pest is once the camera has focused properly on it. I'll just let it focus. Let me know what you think this is. I've looked at it in the books and can't seem to find it. It's having real trouble focusing this camera, isn't it? Let's have a look. I can't find it in the books, and I can't find any information on it on the internet. I'm not actually too bothered because, as I say, I've still been getting plenty of broccoli anyway. But no, it doesn't want to focus on it for some reason. But it's sort of basically little globules, little grey globules appearing on the stem and around the actual broccoli tip itself as well. There's the beautiful white blossom which is now appearing on the pyracantha, and the birds quite often sit on these branches here. The celeriac, which I sowed last month, has now gone out into a couple of rows. You can't see them there, but there's a couple of rows with 3 each of celeriac giant Prague, and that should be ready in winter, and it makes good soups. The chicory should also be ready in late autumn, early winter as well, I would have thought, and we've got a row of that in. Then we have some garlic, which is coming through a little bit but not too much, and we have 137 onion sets. Now I remember that it's 137 because I got 150 and 13 of them were manky, so they're all well, most of them anyway are coming through, and the ones that aren't coming through so much I don't worry about, because I find in the end they all tend to even themselves out and they end up roughly the same size. Maybe there might be a slight difference. In this area we have the Cottage garden perennials, which you saw me putting in these pots in a previous episode of Pete's Garden, and here we have the echinacea, and up until the last few days the liatris wasn't coming through, but now it is a little bit in 2 of the pots. Now all the cottage garden perennials I'm mentioning here have been in the plastic greenhouse until the last week or 2, when they've been left out here to harden off slightly before going into the ground, which will be in the next couple of days. Here's some more petunias from the bargain basement bin of the garden centre. Some more daffodils that need deadheading. There's some more cottage garden perennials. These are bulbs. When I say cottage garden perennials, I mean the bulbs. I got 3, I think it was, in the post. Nymphophia. There we are, red hot poker. more echinacea. There we go. What's that? Oh, eryngium. There we go. Eryngium. Strawberries. And again, in a previous episode of Pete's Garden, you may have seen me potting on some strawberries that I had collected from runners, and there's the link to it. And they do need topping up with more soil, and they need weeding, and that's on my to-do list. But the new ones certainly are looking pretty good. I'm very happy with those. We will get quite a lot of strawberries to make no added sugar jam with this year. If you've any tips, by the way, on creating no added sugar jam, which I've never made before, then please put them in the comments below. Thank you very much. Horseradish, which planted the other day, not come through yet, as you can see. Mint, which I use for my mint tea. The container potatoes, which you saw me planting in a previous episode of Pete's Garden, I think, they're coming through. Very nice. More cottage garden perennials. The lupins, looking quite good there, if I do say so myself. Eryngium, again. More lupins, and more potatoes. Some spare plants there that I'm going to probably give to my neighbour or someone, and more potatoes. And in the greenhouse thing, the parsnips are growing really well, very happy with those. They're going to go out into the garden fairly soon. What else have we got in there? Let's have a look. Can't remember what those are. I'll show you everything that's in here in another episode probably. Tomatoes there. I put 2 Ailsa Craig tomatoes. I've always wanted to grow that particular variety, but now I've got the greenhouse, I think, to do it. This pepper is looking a bit sorry for itself. I can only assume it's wood lice, because we have a little bit of a damp issue. So I think it's that, but then the other one seems to be doing perfectly okay. So at the back there. So I don't know what to do about that one. Any suggestions? As I say, put them in the comments box below. Thank you very much. Oh, I've changed coat. Funny that. Well, thank you for watching Pete's Garden episode 8. There'll be another one along very soon, much quicker than the distance between this one and the last one, if that makes sense. As I said earlier, this one took a long time because I was running a marathon. The next one won't take so long. If you'd like to click subscribe, that'd be great. Thanks very much. Am I looking at the right part of the camera? Yes, I think I am. Bye for now.